What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley. You can find me on Twitter at ArtisticGamer28, and that's the one, the only. It is Scott Savage. You can find him on Twitter at Savage. Scott, what's happening, buddy? Happy Monday.
Yeah, I am tired. It's not a case of the Mondays, though. It's been great. I stay up way too late playing Neon Abyss.
Well, that's not a bad
Having
thing.
a good time. That's a roguelite. So you get started and then you get cut short early. Well, the next thing you know, it's 4 a.m.
Dude, I wish you were in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, because I would love to know your take on their roguelite experience there with Forgotten Saga. I gotta get back into that.
I'm very curious. There's a lot of them that I want to check out. Returnal is another one. The roguelites. I really do enjoy them.
You know, here's what happened to me this morning. I downloaded. We have a game coming up this week on the Switch for review, and from there I went in and updated a bunch of other games, and I've got like a whole library of Switch titles I gotta jump on now. It's oh man, there's so many games, Scott. There's just so many games, but there's so many things where people can join us live over on twitch.tv/the official ITG, as well as YouTube at ITG. But if you can't join us live, hit us up later inside the game.ca podcast services and TV streaming networks around the globe. Coming up on today's show, Scott, it's Software and Bethesda are teasing what's next from the team that brought us Doom Eternal. That's right, Nate, that one's for you, buddy. PlayStation was not, I quote, not involved with Death Stranding's move to PC Game Pass. And will we get story DLC for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Scott?
Ooh. You know, I sure hope so. What are they going to do with Modern Warfare 2? It's a big question mark as far as I'm concerned. I can't wait.
Yeah, no, I'm anxious to get into it. Dude, I really, man, I can't wait either. I really want back in. I always like the campaign,
The original
dude.
Modern Warfare 2 just took over right about when I was in the end of high school. So
Sure.
this one has significant meaning to me.
I'd like to say me too, but I can't. Let's move on, Scott. Doom Eternal developers teases next game. This comes from Logan Moore of a comicbook.com. id Software, the studio behind Doom and Doom Eternal, has teased the next game that it's currently working on. At this point, it has been over 2 years, Scott, since id Software and Bethesda released Doom Eternal. And while the studio went on to support the game post-launch in the form of 2 major DLC expansions, it remains to be seen what his next fully fledged project will be. Now, we have received an initial tease from one of the people in charge of the developer. To coincide with QuakeCon 2022, id Software developer Marty Stratton dropped a hint about the studio, what they've been up to. Although not specifics, and any specifics have been given, Scott, we really just don't have a clue. Just that they're working on something.
Yeah, just that they're continuing on as a company, which is great news for any fan of first-person shooters.
I didn't expect them to shut it down, Scott.
Those 2 DLC expansions that came out for Doom Eternal were incredibly well received.
Yeah,
Extremely hard. In my case, I actually couldn't beat the first one. And
really?
I'm a little ashamed to admit that. I'll have to go back to it. I'm surprised has it only been 2 years since Doom Eternal? I thought it was more than that, perhaps.
Well, that's okay. We're doing it. You ready? We're gonna call in our Doom Eternal expert. I'm calling him up right now, actually.
He's gonna say it came out at 8 a.m. on the specific date.
Yeah, at least
he remembers because he was there all night.
I know he's busy working, but we're gonna try and get. Here he is. Hang on a second. Let's see if we can call him up.
So he is our resident Doom guy,
dude. He's beat the game on like the hardest difficulty. It's crazy. Let's see if we can get him.
Insane. He's got a video of that too.
Yeah, it is nuts.
Defeating the Dark Lord. It's amazing to watch.
I couldn't do it. There's not a chance. I'd never stand a chance doing this. I don't know if he's gonna answer.
You'd be very high, top percentile to do it.
Yeah.
For real.
Well, it's go, 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 right? It's so fast paced.
Oh, yeah.
To leave a message, wait for the tone. If you want to
We're
leave your
so
number only,
close,
press
eh?
1.
I thought we had him. I actually did. Nathan Quinn. This is Drew from ITG Daily. You could have been live on the show today featuring our discussion about what is next for id Software. But until then, buddy, we will talk to you later over at ITG. See you, dude. Bye. Yeah, that sucks. We would have pulled Nate in. Nate could talk about Doom for the entire length of the show. So he's definitely our resident when it comes to Doom and Doom Eternal. He's beaten both on the hardest difficulty over and over again. He's done it multiple times. It's just one of his go-to games, right? So my biggest question then is, what is next from id, Scott? Or is it another Doom experience? Or are we getting something completely fresh? What do you think?
I'll be very upset if there is no new Doom ever. There must be. I don't know about shortly because it's such a long project. I think they spend a lot of time putting a lot of care into Doom specifically.
Sure.
I would really love to see another Rage. And I'm not sure if perhaps they need to mingle with certain other companies to make that happen. But the big one on everybody's mind is Quake. Are they going to come back and do a modern Quake? The last one would have been Quake 4. They've retouched up the graphics and re-released Quake again, the originals. But I want something brand new. Give me a Doom Eternal, but Quake Eternal? Oh, man. I hunger for something like that so much.
Oh, that'd be cool. It's I don't think we'll see another Doom for a while. I think they're going to take a break from Doom and move on to something new. I honestly kind of expect a new IP coming out of id Software this time. I don't think we're going to get Rage.
The ultimate answer. If
right?
we got a brand new series, that would be absolutely even better.
Well, they have such
it's like the Elden Ring of shooters.
Dude, that's you mix those two games together.
Oh,
there's something for you, man. There's a collaboration from Software and id Software. Put those teams together and see what they can create. Wouldn't that be holy? Nate would be in heaven. All right,
you could just stop making new games after that one.
that would be the holy. Yeah, that would be one collaboration, and that'd be incredible. I'd never play it. It's unfortunate. That's just not my play style. But yeah, I honestly think we'll get something completely new. I think they want to take a break from Doom. Doom's been on a roll since Doom kind of relaunched itself, I think. So maybe now it's time to take a bit of a break from Doom, let the team kind of re-energize its spark on the franchise at a later date, right? You kind of sit and manifest on a couple ideas and have that kind of grow that inception over the next couple of years as you work on a new IP. And you know, this is something we often talk about too here on the show, is that when you make a game year in, year out, like Call of Duty, for example, where that's all you work on, right? Isn't it nice to have something as a new, fresh take to kind of spark that creative juice within you as something new and exciting? So I think I kind of wonder if they'll just take a break, but we'll see. Gamescom is this week too, Scott. It's a hot week, man. We'll be live on Thursday covering Open Night Live with Jeff Keighley. So, well, not in person, but
I think
maybe someday.
I think that was 2 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, so it
starts. I think that was correct.
Yeah, 2 till 4 is where it goes. They got the pre-show at 1:30. So we'll see when we jump on, but we'll definitely be here for 2 o'clock. So Scott, let's jump into what happened over Death Stranding. PlayStation uninvolved with Death Stranding's Xbox Game Pass release. This comes from Cade over at Comic Book as well. Comicbook.com on fire today. PlayStation has confirmed that it has nothing to do with Death Stranding's Xbox Game Pass PC release after Hideo Kojima split from Konami in 2015. Yo, that was 7 years ago already?
Oh man, I do this all the time. I'm telling you. I look at a release date and I go, what? That was 100 years ago?
Yeah. It only took a few months for him to confirm he'd be partnering with PlayStation on his next game, which made total sense. Like, if everybody saw that one coming, right? PlayStation swooped in and said, yo, here's the money. We'll just back up our truck and dump all of it into your front yard, right? So it was worth it. I think it was definitely worth it, even if I feel different about his latest game. So it's just one of those things, right? He'd still be an independent developer, meaning his studio is not owned by Sony. Sony offered to publish and front some money for Kojima's to make a new game. It seemed like he was able to make whatever he wanted. Yep. I think that's the biggest thing, right?
I think that's usually the case.
Yeah. As he made probably his weirdest game yet with untraditional gameplay. I stand behind that one 100%.
I cannot wait.
So it is out tomorrow, right, Scott, on Game Pass?
And I am a night owl for real, so I might actually have a report by tomorrow.
I hope you do. I cannot wait to see where you stay, because you've always heard my opinion, and I'm the only one from the team that's actually reviewed that game, right? I don't think anybody else reviewed it with me. I was solo on that one.
I'm not sure if anybody's played it necessarily.
No, I don't think so. So I'm really, to get somebody else within the team to play this, I cannot wait. But
to lower the bar of entry into the Game Pass, where just 18, 20 something million people have it, I'm very excited to see what happens with this brand new environment.
It was well received by critics and even performed well commercially. Death Stranding eventually came to PC courtesy of publisher 505 Games, and now as a result, the game is also continuing to Xbox Game Pass for PC users only, Scott. That's the biggest highlight right there to let you know it is not coming to Xbox itself for Game Pass, just Xbox Game Pass PC users.
Now, in any case, I will be using a 360, or rather an Xbox One controller.
I'm using the Duke controller to play this one, Scott.
Yeah, that's right. OGs only.
This was a pretty sudden move, and one that many didn't see coming. As some expected, Kojima's deal with PlayStation for Death Stranding may prohibit such a thing. Dude, I didn't see this coming at all. Did you see this one happening?
No. I thought it would be locked away in its own ecosystem, and that'd be
me too.
Forever. I suppose they must have missed some fine print in that contract.
Absolutely. I wonder if, because it's on PC, right? So here, let's kind of unravel what's going on here. What happened is it launched on PlayStation as an exclusive title for the console, right? We almost thought it was done right there. Then they announced they're bringing it to PC. Really? Didn't see that one coming either. Kind of thought it would be okay, here's the only place you can get this, kind of like a Final Fantasy move in a sense, right? You know what I mean? So now, then, because it landed on PC, was there not in the contract that you couldn't launch it? I think this is a stipulation, Scott, because it is on PC already. They can still keep it on PC, but they can't bring it to Xbox itself because that's competing with PlayStation hand in hand. You know what I mean?
That makes sense. I can kind of see that. I wonder if it has something to do with it being director's cut version. Maybe that frees them of some of the original contract.
Maybe. Yeah, there's got to be some. I wonder if Sony right now is going, oh, crap. Like, man, we messed that one up. We better fine tune our contracts some more to block some of that content moving over to Game Pass. You know what I mean? That
really is their biggest opponent at this point.
Absolutely is, right? They are definitely right now competing. I think they're more competing with Game Pass than they are actually Xbox. It's kind of one of those things. I know they go hand in hand, but it's more the service that they're fighting against right now to keep PlayStation up in the ecosystem. Dude, if they would have just dropped PlayStation Plus tier, the premium tier, right? Because we all know now there's 3 tiers of PlayStation Plus. If they would have dropped the premium tier, even at $150, people would have been all over it if they were guaranteed to get games on day one.
Yeah, that's the big one.
Right? Because it's Jim Ryan comes out and says it's not a service that they're looking at because they don't see it as a profitable service longevity
I disagreed with that at the time, and I still disagree with it now.
I think we all disagree with it, right? Like, it clearly
we're not looking at numbers, but we're not looking at numbers, and we're not insiders to that degree. For sure. But to see how the entire industry is pivoted around it,
dude,
tells me that it's successful.
Absolutely works. There's a reason why a lot of games will go to Game Pass. There's a lot of reasons why Microsoft is launching day one. Dude, the only reason I feel that Sea of Thieves itself is still alive is because of Game Pass.
Yeah, having it just available in the background, always there for you to return to, that's definitely a positive.
Dude, I look at it all the time. All the time. It's always up there kind of going, ooh, it's just over there in the corner. Maybe I should just jump in and jump in some more. And then they've really expanded the Sea of Thieves world and the lore of what everything is. It'd be hard to catch up if you haven't been in with Sea of Thieves from the start or for a while to get caught up. Man, that's a feat within itself. But to have Kojima bring his, and that's the thing, dude, he is essentially an independent developer. Him and his studio, his team behind him, gives them the freedom to go wherever they please, right? I don't think now there's actually rumors that they're working on an exclusive for Xbox with that cloud Azure product, right? So like the whole cloud service and everything over there now has got Kojima kind of interested. So we'll see what that turns into. But now you're seeing Kojima branch out a lot more than what he has in the past due to the fact that he's an independent developer and no longer tied into Konami himself.
I think that's good for video game industry as a whole. This man is clearly an artist through and through, and the more freedom he has to express in whatever direction, I think that's good for everybody. I want to see what he could do with Nintendo. That'd be quite limiting in some regards, but at the same time, my favorite Metal Gear, now here I have to bring up Metal Gear again, is Twin Snake. Twin Snakes on GameCube is my favorite, and I didn't get to play it originally on PlayStation 2, so that was kind of my way to do it. That's PlayStation 1, I believe the first Metal Gear Solid was.
So the first so the first one was actually before that, but it was more of an isometric top-down view, and then
that wasn't Solid.
It was just Metal Gear, right? But then that's when the franchise changed over to Metal Gear Solid, and then the PlayStation 1 just changed everything. My favorite is still Snake Eater. 3, I think, is phenomenal. It's incredible. I never played Twin Snakes. It's been one of those kind of in the gap of my gaming library. I was like, crap.
It's a big missing space there.
Dude, it was on GameCube.
Your favorite.
I know. Yeah, I don't own a GameCube. Anybody have a GameCube? Let me.
I do. Dude, I also want Twin Snakes on the GameCube though. So if anybody does have that, please hit me in the DMs.
All right. Speaking of what we want, Scott, it's Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 campaign may continue after launch. I think Kate is the only one over at comicbook.com right now because we grabbed everything from them. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2's story may continue after the campaign's credits roll, as a new leak suggests the story could expand over time. Although, okay, we'll get there. I got something just kind of, whoa, light bulb moment. Although the meat
Doom
and
went off
potatoes,
in my head.
although the meat and potatoes Call of Duty are certainly multiplayer and zombies, the campaign is a pretty expansive and rich endeavor for the developers to include every year. They're like a big interactive movie, and some are blockbuster sequence set pieces.
That's
Dude,
right.
it absolutely is, right? It's one
Oh,
of
the
the
last
reasons we
two.
love it so much.
Sometimes it's just a Michael Bay film for 8 hours, and that's my favorite.
Yep, iconic characters and gripping stories. The no Russian mission in the original Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 was an original culture moment, as there was a lot of controversy surrounding the contents, resulting in a lot of airtime on the mainstream television. Yep. With that said, most players blow through it in a weekend and move on to the rest of the game, so it's only a small fraction of players time with the game. Dude, that's the biggest thing. I know people who don't even play a single player, they go straight to the multiplayer.
The majority of people just ignore the single player entirely.
They're missing out,
and there's just a huge miss. I can understand that that's not your main focus, and that's fine. But if you're a fan of first-person shooters at all, it really does pay to keep up with what Call of Duty's doing.
Absolutely. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 may keep the story going, however, according to Call of Duty Insider, the Ghost of Hope, quote, Intel will make a return for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2's DMZ mode. The mode will replace the Spec Ops mode from the last game and be more akin to something like Escape from Tarkov. Dude, I cannot wait. I'm not a multiplayer guy for Call of Duty, but I want to check this out. I want Escape from Tarkov to come over to console. I know why it won't. I get it. I understand. Man, come on, please. Like, we got Vigor over there. I'd like to see how this could be over there too.
Let me put a mouse and key into the Xbox. And
technically, you can. Technically, you can.
Well, that's why I think it should be able to transfer over.
Yeah, as of right now,
it would not be the best way to play. That's for certain.
No, not at all. Infinity Ward has yet to offer any substantial details on the mode, but it's extraction based. There could be missions and quests for players to partake in. Ghost of Hope also brought up a tweet from Call of Duty Insider Ralph's Valve. Man, some people in their names. Noting that the intel is likely one of the ways the campaign of the game will continue in this new mode. Ralph's Valve I can't help it, man. It's just funny. Had previously stated we will have an elaborate storyline that continues the campaign with returning characters and quests. Dude, I'm excited. I'm stoked.
I'm actually really excited for this one. As time goes on, the more the hype train speeds up for me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it's very cool.
No Russian. Remember, no Russian. I'll never forget those lines. Actually, fun fact about me, there's one recording of a song that I did, and it begins with, remember, no Russian.
Well, there you go. If anybody's looking for a voice actor, hit up Scott. Savage.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's dude, it's nice to see if they would actually continue on with the story in the campaign, keep that going, keep that ball rolling, and keep us invested. For those who are so enthralled with the story of Call of Duties that we're able to kind of continue on. Maybe you might need to pull me into the multiplayer side a little bit.
It does make sense that they would do it. Warzone has had kind of this lore, this story element surrounding it with different events. So I hope that they continue that at the very least. That's
very cool. Let's get into a quick moment there. Blade video game from Ubisoft potentially in the works. I put in big capital letters. Nope. It's actually not happening. This is a rumor that was going around. Ubisoft tweeted out this morning, sorry to slice up the rumors. We're not making a Blade game, but we can't wait to see what our friends at Marvel Studios are cooking up for their next year's movie. So there's that. If you saw that, that is not happening. Just a quick little side note.
Now, is that a little hint, though? Is there going to be a new Blade movie?
Yes.
I haven't heard myself exactly.
I believe there is a new Blade movie in the works.
Okay. Now, can you believe that I haven't actually seen the original Blade?
No. Really?
It's a big missing spot.
That is a big gap for you. I'm surprised, man. I didn't see that.
As an adult, I climb into I distance myself from the Marvel universe. Aside from Spider-Man, I really like Spider-Man movies. But
there you go.
Yeah, the adult in me also knows that I will enjoy Blade a lot more than I would, Ant-Man 4.
Yeah, well, there is that. Scott, let's get over into the world of Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed voice actor teasing project at Ubisoft HQ. This comes Catherine over at Gaming Bible UK. The rumor mill has been churning out all sorts of stuff. Many people are expecting that we'll get a proper reveal for Assassin's Creed Infinity, which is set to be a live service game. It does definitely exist. Ubisoft confirmed it, but we've not seen anything of the title yet. So it seems like a solid guess for, quote, the future, end quote, of the franchise. Now, though, fans have gone into hype overdrive as voice actor Roger Craig Smith, known for his previous voice acting for Ezio Auditore, Scott, one of the best assassins within the franchise.
Oh, that was only half of his name. He's got the longest name out of anybody.
He does. I'm not gonna. Everybody knows Ezio Auditore. Yeah, posted a photo on Twitter of him stood outside the Ubisoft Montreal studio. Naturally, it begs the question: what was he doing there? So nobody really knows what's going on. Scott, do you think it is anything to do with? I can't see it being involving Basim's upcoming game, from what we've heard for rumors. But it definitely could tie into Assassin's Creed Infinity. Man, there's lost options there.
It certainly could. Well, being named Infinity makes me think that it's going to span the entire timeline of Assassin's Creed, barring Watch Dogs, although that does fit the timeline. It's really interesting. Are they going to lead with Ezio? He's everybody's favorite by the numbers, for sure.
Absolutely. I'm curious now for like modern Assassin's Creed fans where they lie, right? Because dude, we're like OG Assassin's Creed guys.
That's
like,
true. Yeah.
So for somebody who's just kind of walked into the franchise, maybe just joined it and started with Valhalla, you know what I mean? Or even Origin and then moved into Odyssey. Like the last 3 is kind of really put Assassin's Creed, I think,
reboot.
Exactly. I think it's put them in a new light compared to what we were so many years ago when we first started with the franchise for Assassin's Creed. But yeah, if they're bringing in Ezio again, man, I'm telling you, like, I cannot wait.
It's a strong start if it turns out to be true.
Well, if I'm hoping, Scott, I'm so scared. I'm so scared this is not going to go well.
I really want them to release in the old mold, like the normal, the Assassin's Creed that I'm used to, not this remaster or reboot of the series. The reboot of the series is great, but it's its own thing.
Yeah, I want the Assassin's Creed of yesteryears.
That's right, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, Assassin's Creed 2 was the major one for me. And Brotherhood, they're all good. They're literally all good.
Brotherhood brought the multiplayer. I was like, this was a game changer for me. And then it vanished, just like some of the assassins themselves. Scott, we do have something out today. What do we have?
Yes, there's no solid full releases that I could find word of, but there is an Elder Scrolls Online expansion that releases today, and that is The Lost Depths. The Lost Depths adds a new Earthen Root Enclave dungeon and the Graven Deep dungeon with unique stories and rewards. This will also expand the legacy of the Breton saga through standalone quests and tales. That's actually very interesting to myself. I don't know much about the Breton.
I don't know anything about it at all, to be honest. But Scott, that's going to wrap up today's show, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Drew. That's Scott. We'll see you tomorrow inside the game.